Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. As you see, well, I'm standing here by myself, but Squirt will be back in a minute. We just had a truck come in that he's probably going to have to go unload. And it's good because it's from our friends at Milwaukee. Love doing what they do and love working with them. But remember that this video was sponsored by Leak Pro. I'm sorry, I hear Randy's dog barking. This video is sponsored by Leak Pro. Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your skill set, you want to grow your mindset, learn something new. And if you're not offering leak detection services or leak location services to your customers, my question is, why not? We came across Leak Pro about 7 years ago, and I truthfully think that it is the best leak detection system I've ever used. I've been through training. I've been through training on the West Coast. I've been through training on the East Coast. We built a training center right here outside of Dallas because plumbers need to learn how to use the tools that they get. So we brought it in, out of focus. We've brought it in to, help us do what we do. And the training system teaches you how to locate the lines under the slab. We've got 11 leaks under the slab, 1 outside of the slab. That way, not just how to use the equipment, but you are happy because you know how to find leaks. We bring you in here, we train you, but you locate the lines, you locate the leaks. Then if you're not offering sewer leak detection, you should be, because we've built a system to where we can train you on sewer isolation, both cast iron and PVC. So, man, you feel really good about what you're doing. The good thing is, if you want to check out the equipment, go to www.leak-pro.com. Check out the complete kit. I think it's the most amazing kit there is. It comes with 2 leak detectors, the Sidekick and the Probe, 2 headphones, and the adapters to hook everything up. And it's in this amazing travel case that your plumbers can throw in the back of the truck, in the back of the van, whatever. They're not going to hurt it. So check that out. And then if you want to find out more about the training, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here, and I'm going to rotate things around a little bit, but I'm going to move my questions over here. I'll say I am. I'll find it here. There we go, right there. Take that up, this over, and we will be good. So first of all, we're going to talk about national news, how the U.S. housing gap nears 4 million. It could last for years. So the U.S. is facing a housing deficit of nearly 4 million homes, with supply unable to keep up with demand. Guys, think about this. 4 million. Okay, 4 million homes. That means that we need 4 million homes built right now. You're talking multiple trades building homes. And we don't have enough people to fill those positions. We need help in every trade. I talk about plumbing being hard to find people and things like that, but it's not just plumbing, it's every other trade out there. So the construction slowdowns, get that off. The construction slowdowns due to labor shortages, material costs, zoning restrictions have worsened the crisis. A lot of people like me, I'm in unincorporated territory. I can build whatever I want to out here, but a lot of land in that way, you buy it and it's designated commercial and you want to build a neighborhood. So zoning requirements can be a pain. Experts predict it will take at least 7 to 10 years to balance supply and demand at the current construction pace. And how they're figuring they're going to balance it, I have no idea. Because guys, we have fewer and fewer people getting in the trades each and every year. For every 10 people that retire each year, and the median age in trades is about the mid 50s, but for every year, for every 10 people that retire, only 2 are getting back in the trades. Okay. I don't see it catching up. So guys, buy houses now while you can get them. Cities like Austin, Phoenix, and Nashville are experiencing some of the worst shortages, driving up housing costs. Guys, it's supply and demand. You know what it is. You know how it works. Keep your eyes open because things are going to get crazy. Modular housing and prefabrication are being explored as potential solutions to speed up construction. Look, Squirt and I talk about modular and the prefabricated, the pre-manufactured all the time. I love these modular homes. Some of these things they're bringing out in pocket, just throwing up in days. But guys, they're building them off site, and literally they can ship it in where you basically you unbox it, you fold the walls up, put everything in place, and boom, it's ready to go. Pretty freaking neat. So get out there, look at it, and see what's going on. But California's recent law allowing for multi-unit properties on single-family lots aims to ease the shortages. Think about that. Multi-family units or multi-unit properties on a single-family lot aims to ease shortages, but permitting backlogs are slowing the progress. Call it a LEED project. Get your permits sped up. What is one of the biggest factors holding back housing construction? Combination of strict zoning laws, rising material costs, and lack of skilled labor. And guys, I've been talking about the lack of skilled labor for years now. If we all in the trades don't start recruiting more people into the trades, it's just going to continue to get worse. When I was on Dr. Phil, he said that there were 1 million unfilled trades jobs right then. And in the next 3 years, he expects it to be 4 or 5 million. So go back up to what I said a while ago, that experts predict it'll take at least 7 to 10 years to balance the supply and demand. I don't see that happening. I see it getting worse and worse every year. So just keep your eyes open and watch what's going on, because it is kind of crazy. Now, the website that Randy picked today was Construction Dive, one of the best resources for construction industry news, insights, and trends. Now, this is one that Randy jumps into in the mornings to help gather information for these different things that we talk about. And I want to jump over here and just go ahead and pull it up and see if I can. I loved it. I know it bugs Randy when I get off on my rant. All right, so I'm going to come over here to present where y'all can see what I'm looking at. And I can't even see where to. There we go. All right, so this is Construction Dive, and I will move back over right here. So, tell me why you picked Construction Dive as the website for today.
Man, it's a good go-to place, honestly, for all the trades. You can actually kind of surf through this thing. You can dig through different commercial, different labor. A lot of the safety things that they've got for different groups and things. You run through the different labor statistics, things like that. One of my favorites is the newsletters. They've got daily newsletters for different portions of the trades. And whenever you're actually getting on there, you can check through.
You had to go work, didn't you?
Different things. I did. I was out there unloading a truck, guys, Milwaukee delivery. So I've been busy. Sorry.
You gotta love
and
Milwaukee.
It is warm in here.
I know it's warm in here and it's cold outside.
Because I just got done working. But in here, it's got a lot of different things. It's got different corporate news, infrastructure stuff, safety, tech, sustainability. Guys, sign up for some of their newsletters. They put out daily newsletters. You get some tech side. You actually get real world construction side and the field side, different things. Let you keep up with current statistics. It's got industry news, insights, and trends. New things that are coming, different things that are changing, materials, stuff like that. This site's got a little bit of everything on it, and that's kind of why I really enjoy it.
Do you know how much we love Milwaukee?
I do. They cover everything from material price updates to regulatory changes that affect builders. And if you're in the field, you're in the trade, you've got a business, you've got to keep up with all the different trends that are actually going on, especially with all the tariffs, things like that. We're going to have to come up with some different options and things to help us keep our bottom line where it should be. So different sites like this and just kind of running through the stats and everything that's coming is a good thing to keep up with.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. I mean, you've got some good stuff, and I like this. You know, you talk about big companies like Skanska, one of the largest builders, or used to be one of the largest builders around here. You talk about bipartisan bills. Look, there's so much information, union, non-union. It covers everything. It covers construction. So I like this because there's a lot of good stuff going on. And look, if you want to learn more about this industry, and I talk about it all the time, get up every morning, find a website like this, find a YouTube channel like mine, study your niche, study your industry, literally 30 minutes to an hour every morning. By the end of the year, you're one of the top people in your industry because you see and hear and learn more than most people ever do.
Yeah, keeping in like being the guy that knows that new tool that came out that made the first guy that
Like
solved
these
the
right
drill. Okay, that like boom, oh, a drill just came out. Well, guess what? I'm gonna be the first one on the job to get a drill in my hands to save my wrist, so that I'm not running a screwdriver all the time. Like the little original electric screwdrivers, I think just they were simple,
Oh yeah.
but to be the first guy on the job that had that was just like, whoa.
I remember Papa had one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. And,
Yep.
and he loved it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, he'd be looking at something, he'd get up and he'd go scrounge around in the garage for a few minutes, come back and he's like, Zzz. And it's like, you spent 10 minutes out there doing it. You could have just grabbed a screwdriver. He's
And
like, yeah,
finished it. Yep.
yeah. But that was Papa. So it's pretty cool. But I love when you look, guys, we can all learn and grow. And if you look at the niche, the industry that you're in, and figure out how to learn more about it, how to do more with it, you can be the one that man, people go to. And think about that. Think about it. If you became great at tankless water heaters, I mean, phenomenal. Because a lot of plumbers are scared of that. It's a completely new technology. They don't know everything about it. So they'll tell a customer, look, oh my God, these are so expensive and they're not worth it. They'll talk them out of it. Well, look, could have spent an hour learning about it and become a professional. It may take a little more than an hour. I get that. But literally doing things like that can separate you as a plumber apart from every other plumber in your company, or you as a plumbing company owner apart from every other plumbing company. Train your people, make them better. It's worth it. Now, business growth, leveraging technology for business expansion. So technology is helping us grow. It's helping contractors scale their businesses efficiently without increasing overhead costs. Education is easy, and this technology is out there to learn. There's more and more, and we talk about AI quite often, but AI makes it where we can automate so many things.
Yes. Like, and the reason I bring this up a lot is for you small businesses out there. One man shop, you're doing it all. You're
Chucking a
answering the
truck.
phones, you're doing everything. Guess what? Lean into some softwares to help free some of your time to help you automate your business some as much as you can. Because honestly, it's an easy way to buy you more time. It takes some time on the front end to build it, but once you get it going, it's a pretty smooth operation.
Yeah, and the good thing is technology, it's a tool. And I mean, think about it. When you started in the trades, you didn't know how to use every tool out there.
Right.
I mean, matter of fact, probably didn't know how to use any of them.
Cutting torch.
Maybe a hammer.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Whole
That-
new toy.
That takes a lot of time to actually learn how to use it properly and precisely.
But once you learn how to use it, it's like,
Love
this makes
that
my job
tool.
easy every single day. Cloud-based project management tools streamline scheduling, budgeting, and communication. Communication is one of the biggest problems most companies have, whether it's communicating internally or externally. So you learning to use that stuff can make your life easy. AI-powered estimating software is reducing bidding errors and improving job profitability.
I like that.
Don't you wish you'd have had that?
Especially for new estimators because, oh, I've got all this pipe. I need this much pipe. I need this much pipe. How many hangers do you need?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, well, that
based on
that
these
pipe's out of
specs-
this material, so I need them every so many feet. Oh, man. Ooh, that did turn into a lot more hangers than I was thinking. Man, good catch. And it's like AI can ask you some of these questions
Absolutely.
just to make sure that you did think about these things.
And then drones and 3D scanning are allowing more precise site analysis before work even begins. you can fly a drone over 10 acres
Yep.
in 20 minutes,
Yeah.
15,
Yeah, I
something
think
like
it was
that,
about 20 minutes total.
and shoot 1.5 million points. So you can get a complete topographical chart.
Yep.
You know where your pond should be, you know where your barns should be, you know where your house should be, and things like this, they work. Roofing contractor in Denver started using drone surveys to generate faster, more accurate estimates, reducing inspection time by 40%. Guys, I know roofers that are doing it. They will fly a drone over your house, video the whole thing. Now they're sitting on the ground looking at the video. Ooh, got a problem here, got a problem here, and they can mark it and tag it.
My favorite, I know they're roofers. I know they're used to getting on and off roofs all the time.
You don't like falling off roofs, do
It's
you?
an extra trip that you don't have to take up there, so a less likely opportunity for a mishap to fall off a roof.
You know, and you think about it. If a roofer pulled up here and I was outside and I walked up to meet him and I'm looking in the back of the truck, I'm like, dude, where's your ladder? Like, I don't need one. It's like, what do you mean you don't need a ladder? Looking at my roof, right? Absolutely.
Let me
Mhm.
fly this drone around
Let
real
me
quick
fly
and
my
inspect
drone.
it.
Let me pull my drone out and let me play. So Randy, what's the easiest way for a small contractor to start using all this modern technology?
Begin with some simple tools like digital invoicing, maybe some estimating apps, some cloud-based scheduling software.
We started with that. I mean,
Yep.
Texas Green Plumbing, Invoice ASAP, very first software I ever had. But I did it because I had an HVAC guy come out, fix my air conditioner, and I'm like, "So you gonna give me a estimate?" He said, "Well, I emailed it." What do you mean you emailed it to me? He said, "Well, I emailed it to you." And I literally pulled out my phone, looked at my phone, like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. Where did you get this?" And he told me, it's like, I'm checking into this.
That's it. Like, you've got to have that too. You've got to be able to send an estimate, be able to turn that into an invoice, be able to turn that into everything. And man, if you can build all that in and just, it's a couple quick clicks of a button to go from that estimate. After you create that customer, it automatically populates all the fields and information. That's one of my favorites. Like, I'm not always writing their address and phone number down 100 times on all these different forms and sheets. It automatically tracks through the software. So the better the software you can get that incorporates a lot of these things, like we've been using High Level, it's been great for us. And it makes it real simple to be able to go from an estimate, turn that into an invoice, and automatically draft everything and have it done.
You know, and it's, guys, look, modern technology makes your life easier. And we're going to take that technology and roll it over into service work because adapting to remote diagnostics and service calls.
Yes. Like we've been talking about like remote readings, things like this, all these smart homes, smart devices and stuff. Well, guess what, guys? They're starting to use that to know there's an issue before a customer even calls because that smart thermostat says, "Up, system failure." Well, that automatically triggers something at the office because guess what? We provide a maintenance program for that customer.
You bet.
So boom, we just had an alarm. Hey, we just noticed that system failure. Do you want us to come out there? Is somebody available for us to come and address this issue?
Or not even is somebody available. Use your other smart technology. No, but you're at my house.
I can open the
Okay,
door.
door's unlocked. Go ahead.
Yep.
I mean, guys, you ain't got to be there. Imagine this. Imagine if you're a plumbing company owner, you get a notification. Their smart water heater says, "Hey, ignition failure." Okay. Mr. Johnson, we just got a notification that your water heater's not working. It says, "What do you mean? I'm at work. I don't know." Well, your water heater's not working. We got notification of an ignition failure. It's normally the control valve. It's normally the thermocouple. It's something like this. Do you want to wait till this evening when you get home and let us come over, or is there somebody there? No, I'm at work. Nobody's there. But I don't want to wait till this evening. I want a hot shower when I get home. Can you go ahead and send a technician over? Yes, sir. How do we get in? Just call me when you get there. I'll unlock the door.
That's it.
It's that easy.
Yep.
Neat stuff because the remote diagnostics, the smart sensors and remote monitoring make that all easy. HVAC, plumbing, and electrical contractors are using remote diagnostics to reduce unnecessary trips. Now, I literally talked a lady through an error code on her tankless water heater.
Yeah.
not in my area. Lady reached out through social media, says, look, I got a problem. I've got an area code, don't know what to do. And I recognized the code. I said, well, look, let me jump on a quick call with you, and FaceTimed her. And she's literally pointing her phone at the deal and back and forth talking to me.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. Well, to be honest, I pulled up the complete error code on my computer. I'm looking at it, so I see step by step what needs to be done. I'd done it before, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything with it. But I'm sitting here thinking, you're not a plumber. You could have done the exact same thing.
Yes.
Miss Johnson, may I tell you what you can do to repair this yourself? The lady sent me $100 gift card.
I bet.
She's like, look, you saved me a ton of money, and the fact that a plumber may have come out and tried to sell me a new water heater. I know they would have.
And she can help her friends save that money too, because you told her the way
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
look at it.
I taught her how to fix it.
That's it.
I didn't just give her fish. I taught her how to fish.
That's right.
Speaking of, I've been watching The Chosen again, so it's like, see what's on my mind.
Yeah.
But remote tools improve efficiency and allow service companies to handle more jobs per day. Imagine that. Imagine if, and this is crazy because y'all aren't going to do it, and I know it. But imagine if a plumbing company owner says, look, I want to train my CSRs, my call center representative.
Mhm.
If somebody calls and says, hey, I've got an error code, look it up real quick. Look up the name of the manufacturer of the water heater, look up the error code, and then try to talk them through the repair and say, look, this is all you need to do on this one's clean the filter.
Really easy
We can
to
come do that. But you know what? It's easy for you to do too. So there's a lot of different things like that. But it says a Texas HVAC company implemented smart thermostats that notify them of system failures, allowing for pre-diagnosis and faster service times. Guys, this stuff works. I mean, it really does. And then you can start off by offering smart system installations. But guys, don't just offer the system. Understand the system. Be the company, be the guy that understands, look, guys, I'm going to offer you this smart system, but eventually you're going to be able to tie this to your central housing hub where it talks to your water heater, it tells it when to turn on, when to turn off. It talks to your washer, your dryer, your refrigerator. I mean, literally, my washer, dryer, refrigerator, and TV all talk to each other. I may have in the past got up before to make a margarita and got in and got started, and my TV show was on, so I went back down and I'm watching, and all of a sudden my TV tells me, hey, you left your refrigerator door open. And I got in an argument. I'm like, how do you know? You know, no, I mean, but seriously,
Smart devices.
it works. But start by offering smart systems, installations, educating customers on the benefits of the remote monitoring. And I go to this with the remote leak detection because to me, man, that's a lifesaver that everyone needs in their home. Now, let's talk about materials, equipment, and tools because we're talking about construction equipment technology.
Yes. The latest construction machines are improving efficiency, safety, and they're reducing labor cost. Everything that they're coming out with makes everything a little quicker. Think of back whenever pressed copper first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the time a solder joint used to take and then watch a press joint happen. And it's like, holy cow, that saves a lot of time. Now, there are some pros and cons to things like this, and you do have to be aware of those because solder joints have been tested for decades. Press, not as long.
And
They have been around a long time.
And they have, but they're not even going to test to the same pressures. They're not going to pass all the tests that copper will.
That's right.
But do they need to?
Not necessarily. Not for all locations and applications. Like that's something we talk about, like the press to connect, things like this. It's like, look, they can have their place. Yes.
Push to connect.
Push to connect.
Not press. Right?
Yeah, not press. Push to connect. It can have its place. I love caps. Okay. Put them on, take them off, reuse them. Man, it's pretty cool. You don't want to bury it. You don't want to put it somewhere you can't access it. Things like that. And
but we've done that.
We have, and we've dug some of those up before, haven't we? But it's good to keep up with all the new equipment and technologies that's coming. AI-assisted excavators and autonomous grading equipment are speeding up site preparations. Now, I know a lot of really good excavators, and they will dig grade, pretty much perfect all the time.
But you said pretty much.
Pretty much.
Not every time.
Not every time. Okay. They're off a little bit occasionally. We shoot a lot of grade to help them, but
It is what it is.
it's all on feel. And then you'll ask them all, they're like, no, I just know that motion. I know how to do it. I know how it feels. I know this. AI doesn't need to know. It's going to check elevations. It's going to constantly be scanning and making all the adjustments to put a perfect grade in.
Yes.
Every time.
And you got to love that. And then electric and battery powered heavy machinery is gaining traction as regulations tighten on emissions. I want a battery operated backhoe.
Me too.
I know they're out there ready with one bad. Wearable exoskeletons are being tested to reduce worker fatigue and prevent injuries. And your favorite one here is the one where you can wear the jackhammer.
Where you can wear it, and you've got a cable hanging, and here's your jackhammer. Okay, your body's supporting all the weight, but your whole body, not just
your arms.
Not just your arms trying to hold this thing up and jackhammer the wall, because there's times we have to do that. This thing just makes it simple. You just reach out there and it's holding it for you. So all you're doing is controlling the motion of it. Your body's supporting the whole weight because of the exoskeleton suit. I think these are just, wow, way to think outside of the box.
Ever since you first saw it, you're like, oh my gosh.
It's just too cool.
And Volvo's got a new battery-powered excavator that can work 8 hours. That saves you fuel. It saves you labor. It saves you all kinds of things.
Hey, if it can run 8 hours, that's...
I know.
Ooh.
I know.
That's starting to get and questionable on, do we get it or not?
And with the cost of fuel.
That's right.
It's like...
That's right.
I'm just saying, it makes it nice.
GCs, those power bills are going to go up.
Yeah, yeah. We're plugging everything in.
We're plugging everything.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead and talk about Leak Pro.
We want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here, hang out Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. That way, it covers your lunch break from East Coast to West Coast. You can tune into the replays. But Leak Pro does build the most precise leak detection equipment for professional plumbers. They build two different devices. We've got the Probe, which is T-handle style. It's got a stainless steel rod on it, real durable for probing in and out of the ground, more for your meter to your home service. Also, like right there, you've got the complete kit. Up there in the top portion of it is the Sidekick. That's this pistol grip style one here. It's got an aluminum rod on it. That's the one you want when you step inside that home, or even if you're listening through a driveway. But listening through concrete slabs, it kind of eliminates that layer of concrete that you're listening through, because that aluminum rod's a less dense metal. So if you want to check it out, you can visit the website, www.leak-pro.com.
Which is where I'm at.
Which is where we're at. Also, we do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. And you can come out here, learn how to locate lines. I've got 11 leaks under a slab out here. I'll run you through all sorts of orientations of leaks and things where you really learn that process so you can step into a home and locate leaks. Beyond that, though, I also have a couple sewer systems set up, one cast iron and one PVC, where you learn to go to the double clean out outside of the home and isolate branch lines from that main so you can determine exactly where a sewer line's leaking. So you don't have to go in there and go, hey, I got to replace your whole sewer. It's bad. You can actually check for the customers and try to locate, is it just a bad branch line because of some trees or something like that? And this is so you can check that for things you can't see with a camera.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to check it out, you can give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO or visit the website. That's www.leak-pro.com.
Pretty good stuff. And I got to tell you, we love it. It's been a great product. First day I found out about it, I was like, oh my gosh, I want this. And Larry told the owner of the company, he says, I'm 80 years old. I could die tomorrow. All my friends are dying. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with Leak Pro then? Because I think it's phenomenal. So Terry's living a happy life now.
He's loving it.
MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and addressing challenges in retrofits of MEP systems. And retrofits used to be a big deal to you.
It is. Always has been. I love going into existing places, making something new or bringing it more efficient, things like this. And we've done things inside of buildings where we took an atrium and they had to build me a shaft so that I could run pipes up and down the building to get other additions added on. So, like, sometimes you think outside of the box to make an MEP system work in a retrofit because you want to keep everything running and operational so that the full building can keep going. But let's say, oh, I need to replace all the drains in the building. Well, you're going to have to run new drains for the most part and then slowly swap them over to that new system.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of think outside of the box. And it's always a process that you've got to work through most of the time.
And you were talking about it earlier about one of these. We're shooting a video for toilet rings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to call them wax rings now because there's wax, there's
Yep,
foam,
there's
there's
all
rubber,
sorts.
there's all kinds of things. But we're talking one that we got a lot of comments on that people love because they were pulling and resetting a toilet every day
Every day.
during this job.
During a job, they were doing like I guess a bathroom remodel or something. They'd come and work during the day. They'd reset the toilet every night so that the customer would have a toilet there.
And then pull it so they could work on the floors, the walls, the cabinets, anything around it, not break a toilet.
Not tear anything up. That's it. So pretty neat. Just some of the different things that we think about and come up with for these retrofit projects. But upgrading all these systems creates a unique challenge. Like, how do you keep the power on and run a whole new smart power system? It takes slow steps and transitions to be able to make it work.
And it's neat because the older buildings often have outdated wiring, outdated HVAC systems. The plumbing systems are normally undersized.
Yep.
But not, and you never know what you're going to see in a job. And I think I asked you this one day,
Oh.
and I don't know that you'll remember, but we went on a job, Republic Tower, downtown Dallas, 50-something story office building, and we found this 3-inch water line that went up, and I'm trying to remember, it went up about, 10 floors. It may have been more than that. And I asked you, do you know what that would be for? Do you remember?
I don't
Or
recall.
did I ever tell you?
I don't know.
And it may have got up.
I mean, I've worked in that building before. Like, so I've seen a lot of risers. I'm not sure which one you're talking about for sure.
It literally, it was a water relief system, a pressure relief.
Oh,
So it was set to where however many floors it went up, and I'd have to sit down and do the math to figure it out. But we traced this whole line down and figure out it went up about, I'm going to say 20 floors, turned over and 90 down into a floor drain. And it's like, wait, this is a water line. Why would they do that? And we're looking at it, we're trying to figure it out, and we go back and trace the line again, looking for any valve. Why is it
just
not
wide open.
why is it not just flowing? Well, it was designed so that if pressure got too high, it would flow through that. That would be enough pressure to push it up, go over and down into the drain.
They knew exact pressure for that
Yes,
building. That's
yes.
awesome.
And I mean, think about it. It wasn't a pressure relief valve. It was a
Yep.
pressure relief water line
Yeah.
that fed a whole lot of us lunch because it was 3-inch copper for about 20 floors.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's like, man.
Just so y'all know, if you don't understand, you don't know pumps and how this works, your pressure is only going to push water so high.
City pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that they had some booster pumps and things. And that's kind of why they did this was if something ever over pressurized it, it gives the water somewhere to escape
And-
without.
The way to figure it is basically for every floor going up, you're going to lose about 0.43 PSI. I want to jump in here and say hello. Ends Plumber's Corner Jetter says Grand Rising, work smarter, not harder. That's what we try to do
Man.
every day.
For sure.
We don't always get that done,
No, it's never that easy. Seems to be,
but we do try.
we try every chance.
And just so you know, that's Jamie,
okay. Yep.
because that's where Jamie works. So, Jamie, good to see you in here. Thank you for being here. There's so much cool stuff going on, though. And you look at the retrofits, because while you're trying to work with buildings being occupied, remember, I did about a 5-year remodel of DFW Airport.
Yep.
And they don't just shut down the airport and say, yeah, go ahead, take your time.
Oh, why not?
They don't do that at TI either.
No.
And so we've been in a lot of buildings where there's a lot of work going on, and you have to keep things going. So I love that. And normally this is done for energy efficiency upgrades, LED lighting, smart thermostats, things like that, new bathrooms, new corridors, all kinds of things. So,
And like the reason it's worth it, like upgrading the HVAC systems can save them like 30%.
Yeah.
For going through and dealing with all the trouble. It is a big hassle, but the savings in the long haul for a lot of these high rise buildings is tremendous.
okay, where is the work? Now, this is a big one because people are always asking, look, are the trades going away? No. Look at everything built around you. A building, your home, your office, your apartment, your condo, the roads, the bridges. Guys, this is blue collar workers.
Every one of them.
So there's opportunities in infrastructure projects amidst federal funding. Now, federal's throwing a lot of money around here lately because we're
Yeah,
not throwing it
look.
to other countries now for their.
You ready? The U.S. government has allocated billions with a B,
Mhm.
for infrastructure upgrades. And guys, this creates a lot of job opportunities out there. So many people, how do I get in the trade? Try to look for some infrastructure projects. You really want to learn how things work? Go learn at the core of it all, and then you'll start to learn how things feed into that.
Now
It's pretty
explain
cool.
infrastructure,
The base for your city, like
the roads,
the roads,
bridges.
the bridges, the sewer
Neighborhoods.
mains, your water treatment facilities, your neighborhoods, different parts like that is all your infrastructure for homes to come into, businesses to come into and plug into and be a part of. So that infrastructure has to be running smooth. Most of our country is pretty outdated on the infrastructure.
Well, you've got listed here water infrastructure and utility grid upgrades. Look,
Mhm.
Texas lost power a few years ago. And Texas has its own power grid.
Yep.
In case we ever want to secede. But
That's
I mean,
right.
but I mean, seriously, or in case the border gets overrun and we become North Mexico, probably not going to happen. But I mean, the thing about it is, and I talk about New York a lot because look, guys, most of the eastern states, look, they're older, and you know they've got. I mean, somebody asked me the other day, "Have you ever seen a wooden water pipe?" Yeah, I have. I've been to the
I have.
Plumbers Museum in Boston.
We dug one up at A&M Commerce whenever I was doing theirs. It wasn't science technology. That was UTD. We were doing there was a big rock wall. I'm trying to think of what the building was. Huge. But we found some 8-inch wood pipe. They ended up putting it in their college museum whenever
yeah, I
we
don't
found it.
blame
Because
them.
like we were like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah, everybody
it was
stopped
like,
working.
Yeah, stop
I mean,
digging,
that's
stop
like- that's
touching
like
everything.
finding human
like,
bones.
That's it.
It's like stop.
We stopped
Yeah.
everything.
That's
And it's
cool.
like, hold on, let's get
How
some people
much of
from
it
the
were they
college.
able to uncover? Do you know?
A few feet. It wasn't a whole lot there as we tried to dig some more up. Most of it was decayed and gone. But we found enough that they were like, oh, man, this is going into the museum.
You know, anybody in here, if y'all have ever seen wood pipe, I just love to hear from y'all because I think that's pretty cool. Nightlight says shout out to local 286. Where's 286 located, brother? Good morning. Good to see
morning.
you. Trades are going to be so much more important during the new industrial revolution. I don't think it's new. I think it's been going. We got to keep it going. Bringing back shipbuilding, welding, so exciting. We talked about that the other day, and look, I wish that we could get more local trades involved in stuff like that. Instead, we're sending it over to South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea's doing some shipyard rebuilds for us on the Navy side.
Replacing all the pipes they say are regulated and must be replaced. Absolutely. Those stupid wind turbines, they have them here in Illinois. Total crap and kills the wildlife. It does kill some, but I tell you what, we're trying to find greener ways to get energy. So we need to find a way to get the birds to fly around them. We can train the birds, maybe.
I was going to say, we learn from our mistakes too. We learn the good and bads to everything as we try things.
Yes, I like that. It says they used to make dentures out of wood too. You're right.
Yeah, sure we did.
And you know what? As soon as you put that in, I was like, that's right. Good to see you. I used to work with TJ or JT or JC down there. I think it's TJ. One of the instructors, the head instructor, if I'm not mistaken, at the plumbing union. So cool stuff. And I love Austin. I was there a couple of weeks ago. Randy, where are the best tacos in the world?
Suerte
Austin, Texas.
in Austin, Texas.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then somebody got in here the other day saying there was a better place. I think it's just because it's a 1 foot taco.
I looked it up.
I mean, I know you sent it to me.
I'm trying to remember where it was, though.
In New Braunfels.
There you go. That's right.
But I think it's because it's a 1 foot taco. Because it looked like the main thing was breakfast tacos, which is great. But I can still remember one in a million.
Oh, one in a million.
One in a million. Yeah, you get one taco there.
1 pound burrito. Breakfast
it
burrito.
Is piled up so big you better get extra tortillas.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh yeah, next to Deer Crossings will be saying. Yeah. There you go. All right, so Squirt, go ahead. I don't know where we're supposed to be. Where's the work? We got that one.
Instructor training.
That's where we need.
Let's move on to it. How trade schools can better prepare students for business ownership.
You know, my first coach was Michael Gerber.
This hit me good.
Taught nothing about running and owning a business. Go ahead. No, you're good.
Well, like I went through the union, spent my whole apprenticeship there. Nowhere did I learn anything about business, how business is run. And sad to say, even like the estimating side, things like that, like working in the office in the business, which is still part of everything that we all did anyway, we didn't learn any of that stuff really. So that's why I bring this up. Start to plant those seeds because we're not all just workers. Yes, we want to be professionals at what we do, but there comes a point when we've mastered our trade, we need to take that next step up and bring more up underneath so that they can master our trade too. And I think the key is start teaching business earlier. It's something that we don't really do in the trades very often. Something we like to do on our channels a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Try to promote being a business person, not just being a plumber, not just being a pipe fitter on the job. No, run the work, own the work, run the crews.
I love it. Why is live so far behind?
Oh, click live. There we go.
Wow. Hey, man, what's happening here? Okay. So courses on pricing jobs, managing expenses, and marketing could help apprentices succeed in business. So we're talking things like that. You're mainly talking a residential company, a smaller company, which that's where we would all start. I mean, when I opened a company, I didn't think, okay, I want to open a $1 billion a year, big, old plumbing, mechanical, electrical company.
Yep.
And I want to make millions tomorrow. I went, look, I want to work for myself. I want to start my own company. And that's residential service plumbing. Anybody, whether you're a plumber, electrician, HVAC tech, if you had training like this, you'd be like, you know what? I can open my own business. Learning marketing, learning how to make your phone rings big. But I like the first one, managing expenses and pricing jobs. Because you've got to understand how much you should be spending on labor, both field labor and office labor, how much you're spending on materials, how much you're spending on overhead. There's so many different things that can just eat you up that if you're not looking at it, it'll wear you out.
Yeah, even some of the basics like that, just roughly how much should labor be? How much should material be into a job cost? Just a ballpark's a good idea. And we know every company's going to vary just a little depending on what it is. But here's where it should be to kind of give you a great starting point.
Go ahead. I had a website jump into my mind that I'm like, I need to write this
down. We do want to move on to specialties, okay? And it's something we were talking about a little earlier, kind of the new technology and tools coming, but how drones are changing the construction industry.
Didn't we already talk about that?
A little. We kind of got off on the side of this talking earlier.
Okay.
But drones are revolutionizing job site management, offering the aerial mapping, kind of like we were talking, inspections, and project tracking.
Right.
This is one of my favorites, like being able to go through and watch a job as it's going on. There's a big job we did at State Farm over here in Richardson. They built this sky bridge in one piece. It's a pretty long sky bridge. They shut the whole job down for a weekend and they live streamed it for all the workers to be able to watch this thing go up because
That's pretty neat.
we were interested. We're like, can we come to the job? And they're like, no,
No.
but we will live stream it so
Okay,
that y'all
that
can
is
watch
so
it.
cool.
And that's where this drone stuff like makes me think is like, because at that time I don't think drones were really too big yet, but you could have drones flying around to see different angles of this going on. So I think this specialty could be really good. And drones are a good thing to do. They improve safety by reducing the needs for workers to climb scaffolding or enter hazardous areas. This is one, like we talk about confined space, things like this. What if you got a good drone flyer that can fly this drone down and figure out what's really going on before we ever send a person into the hole?
And guys, I'd be willing to bet there's already a drone out there that has gas monitoring. So hey, everywhere the drone was is safe. So we're
That's it.
good.
Yes. So like that's why I think drones really are changing the construction industry. It's not just some new tech that's coming out. It's starting to change things in how we think about doing jobs. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk about this. Like drones equipped with thermal cameras can detect hidden issues in roofing and electrical systems, find things that are arcing out, different things like that based on the temperatures.
And we've used drones out here at our property to do stuff. So trust me, it's pretty neat. Where did we go? It says, oh yeah,
Soft
here we go.
skills.
Soft skills. Teach more soft skills and socializing with humans. And I call those human skills.
Yep.
So I love that. The different trade programs here in Illinois are adding these to their programs, how to run a business, even working for someone else. You run your own truck. I like that. Does
Yeah.
industrial or residential pay more? It can go either way. I think to be honest, if you're running your own company, residential pays more. I think as a plumber, actually even residential there, because you have ways to make more money. If you're a great plumber and you can walk in houses and recommend to people, hey, look, you need a new water heater. Your water heater is 10 years old. It's a 6-year warranty water heater. Probably want to change it out before it ruptures and floods your house. Just having conversations like that make you a better plumber, and companies will love you and want to keep you around forever. And he says, as a business owner, a business owner, probably industrial, because you're going to get bigger jobs.
That's it. That's
Depends
what I
on
was
how
gonna
big your
say.
company gets.
Like water heater goes out at the house, okay, X amount of dollars. Boiler goes out at this industrial
10
plant,
times the amount.
10 to 20x.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the type of work that you want to do, to be over, to have as a business, honestly.
And the thing is, 10 times the work, 10 times the price, but 10 times the labor, 10 times,
Right. It's
10
heavier,
times
it's
the risk.
bigger. Like
Yeah.
the pipe's bigger in industrial, things like that. That's more weight, that's more strain on the bodies, things
More
like
chance of
that.
getting people
more
hurt.
chance of getting people hurt. So you've got to weigh out the risk throughout everything, kind of.
And we talk about that because, I mean, I literally remember sitting next to Z at a safety meeting one day, and he literally leaned over there talking about somebody hurt their back on a job. He says, do you know what a back injury costs us? And I thought, no, not much. Y'all have got insurance. He said, no. It still costs us $100,000 out of our pocket every time somebody hurts their back.
Yep.
$100,000. So guys, anytime that we can limit or mitigate the risk on stuff like that, how do we not get people hurt? You don't do the bigger jobs like that.
Yeah.
It's a risk.
Residential, there's less things going on to worry about to create hazards than in an industrial area.
Yeah, it should be good for keeping humans from having to put themselves in harm's way as well. Yes. And the drones, they have them for air and underwater.
Yes.
I've dove with the little motorized things. It's cool. I hadn't seen the drones, but I know exactly
Well,
what
think
you're
of
talking about.
the one that, we see it. The diver that he's doing by the remote control.
You bet.
That's
You
a
bet.
diving drone.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
would
I
call
just
it.
hadn't seen them out in the open. I've seen
Yeah,
them at
we've
trade
seen them at shows,
which are freaking crazy. ASAP Plumbing from Jamaica. What is overhead and pricing? Your offices, your pencils, your paper, anything that is not directly used in the job
In
itself.
the job itself, yeah.
Yeah. Insurance.
Secretary, like
Depends
all
on how
those
good
things.
you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Upselling is what it's all about. You've got to, and I don't necessarily call it upselling. If I walk into a customer's house and I'm the plumber and they call me to fix their running toilet, we always do a 360 inspection. Hey, we're going to go ahead and look at all your plumbing while we're here, just to let you know if there are any other issues that maybe you didn't even think to look at. And a lot of people do call it upselling, and Jamie, I get that, but I call it more of just a professional advice. And it's like, look, when I'm done, if it's okay with you, I'll tell you about them. If you don't want to know, I won't tell you. But I'm only going to point out things that I think are issues that you need to be aware of. They're like, no, I'm good with that. Well, if I'm ready to fix their toilet and their water heater is 20 years old in an attic above their living room, and why we started doing that down here, I have no freaking idea. But the whole thing is, I literally went and bid a job about moving a laundry room because she wanted a bigger closet. And in my inspection, she's got 2 water heaters above her 2-story living room, right above the ceiling. And I'm like, hey, you got 2 water heaters up here that, and I think they were 14 years old. They were 6-year water heaters. And I'm like, look, I would change these first. She's like, yeah, but I really want that closet. Well, that was a Thursday. Sent her the estimate on Friday. She went out of town Friday. One of those water heaters ruptured. And she was out of her house for 8 months. Now, she probably ended up getting her closet for free then.
Yep.
But it is what it is. So, yeah, it wasn't upselling to me, though. It's just giving you my professional opinion. Not like, does the union apprenticeship skills transition to residential? Yeah, it can. Yeah, look, plumbing is plumbing. You've got to learn the code. You've got to learn the drains. You've got to learn different things. But yeah, plumbing is plumbing. I'm lucky because I've done residential, commercial, industrial, new construction service in almost every one of those. Well, in every one of them. And I've been union, non-union, or non-union, union, and non-union again. So that's why I talk about all of it.
What I was going to say, Nightlight's from Texas, so you're going to have to kind of learn residential to be able to get your plumbing license anyway. The flows and everything do transition. I feel like a residential is a little smoother because all the pipes are smaller, where commercial's a little more, but you're going to completely understand how the plumbing systems work, which is a big transformational.
Go ahead and talk about social media.
So our social media spotlight today is at WeldTube, run by South Coast Welding Academy. It's one of the best resources for welding tutorials, gear reviews, and industry views. They've got 600 and something thousand subs, so cruising along. So nice.
Turn off.
But like, I like it just because it goes through actually teaching the basics of welding. Like one of the first things that pop up there, he's just teaching how to weld some plate with a backer on it. Some 7018 rod, very simple for beginners, just to kind of learn what's going on and how to use rod. Like I can remember whenever I first started in the union, I did not know how to strike an arc at all whatsoever. And they're like, yeah, strike an arc. And I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? Going through and watching some of these people can actually teach you a lot. And it's some good things to learn from. And I like to get tips and tricks from different people, not just the same person all the time, not just this plumber on YouTube. I want to listen to some other plumbers too and see what they got to say.
I get it.
But like, see, you can see here just the different parts of it. They actually do some pipe fitting things to where you can kind of go through and see how to build spools, how to weld spools, things like that. Welding safety 101, what every beginner needs to know. There's a lot you need to know to step in there and start welding. There's lots of flying parts and pieces, especially if you're working in a little weld booth to get started out. Things bounce off of those walls. Safety's important in there.
Randy, let me ask you a question. What are these marks for on the pipe?
That's for a saddle on or a saddle in. It's cutting saddles.
You know what that stuff's all about.
I do know what that's about. And yeah, what's he doing? Branch test layout. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cutting a branch in. You can do straight T's, you can do Y's, you can do any angle you want, really. Especially once you learn how to make the right marks, to make the right cuts, to put that stuff together.
Neat stuff.
And I like it because he kind of goes through some just different techniques, different angles, all the different positions and things that you do for different weld certs. So kind of running through there is pretty cool. And then, yeah, underwater welding.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like that's pretty cool job right there.
And he's at Ocean Corp down in Houston, man. Talk about it
Yep.
all the time.
So yeah, it is. You'll see a bunch of different welders on their videos too. It's not just one person because it actually is the South Coast Welding Academy. So you're going to see a bunch of different things throughout their videos. It's really neat. You can kind of look through here and see what kind of welding you really want to do if you want to be a welder. If you like that much fire, if not, go through and be a pipe fitter. Okay,
What?
It's good.
Who wants
I
to
love
be a plumber? No, don't even. All right, so I'm jumping back into the questions real quick. So, there's just one more here, and it's Jamie says preventive maintenance. Do they offer that in plumbing or just HVAC? No, you can do it in plumbing too. You can go through and you check the water heaters. Do they need to be flushed every year? Of course they do. You walk around, test things like turn on and off the garbage disposal. Does it sound like there's anything in there that could be damaging it? There's a lot you can do for PM in really just about any trade. So it's such a good deal. All right. What's the best way to future-proof a contracting business with all the changes in construction technology?
Stay ahead with all of your continuing education,
Which is massive.
any new certifications that are coming out. We've got solars coming out. We've got all these new things coming. There's new certifications for it. Go out and get certified. Stay on the forefront in your trade so that you can quickly do this. Like that's the main thing. Stay on top of that technology. Learn how to use it.
Sorry, I'm closing that one out of the way.
Underwater welding, getting them.
I know underwater welding, and I'm like, man, I want to watch that. Fastest growing construction sector in 2025. We talk about this a lot.
Data centers, baby. I mean, with all the AI coming and everything, we need more data centers. We need bigger data centers. That's a lot of data that this is going through, combing through, and studying. So, data centers is huge. And most of the ones I worked on, you can work just about as many hours as you want to.
Which is not always a good thing.
Which is not always a good thing. So you've got to be kind of smart about that and don't work too many because occasionally we do need a break.
Guys, today's video is sponsored by Leak Pro. If you want the most precise leak detection system for your professional plumbing company or for you if you're a professional plumber, think about checking out Leak Pro. It is literally, this can separate you, put you above every other plumbing company in town because most plumbing companies don't want to do this. They want to sub it out to somebody else. Guess what? Those people you normally sub it out to, they got favorite plumbing companies they work for. And they're like, hey, look, if you don't like your pricing, call this other plumbing company here. They're really, really good. And don't think that doesn't happen because a lot of these companies are like, look, every time you send a job to us, we'll send you $500. Wait, I didn't send you 5 jobs a week and you're going to send me $5,000 or $2,500?
$2,500, yeah.
It's like, yeah, sorry, I was thinking 10 jobs. But they're probably doing it for multiple companies too. And these guys go out and sometimes do leak detection or 3 or 4 jobs a day.
Yes.
So this can turn into great business. One of the very first people that we ever trained on leak detection systems, we trained on a Friday, Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They went home on Sunday.
3 guys.
Just trained all 3 guys, 2 of the plumbers and the owner.
Yep.
Trained 3 of them. And they go in Monday, sold their first job for $21,000.
Because they were able to perform a leak detection right then.
And not wait 6 weeks for the other company that they had called to see if they could do leak detection. They're like, yeah, but we're 6 weeks out.
That's right.
Guys, any trade that has work that's scheduling people 6 weeks out is a great trade to get in. Because there's work. There's plenty of work.
Plenty of it.
And Leak Pro, the complete kit, is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you want to learn more about it, go to www.leak-pro.com. Or if you're interested in the training, because there's nothing worse than having great equipment and not knowing how to use it to the best of its capabilities. you want to find out more about training, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. Another good day here. Jesse James Welding. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
down in Austin, of course. Look, there's a lot of great stuff. But guys, we do what we do because we love it, we have fun at it, and we try to bring you more value. If you've already subscribed, remember, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we go live, which is really 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I appreciate y'all being here.
That's it. Thank you for showing up today. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Get out there and hit it effing hard. Bye, guys.
Thank you.